This conference will now be recorded.
Click it again. Yeah. No, click.
Sequence of pre-op. To have a meeting before I have surgery.
Yes. Oh, she said post-op.
Oh.
That's after you had it. They need to check to see how you're doing with your vision. Hello?
Yes, hello. Somebody on there?
Yes, this is Guerra in Willis County. How are you, Commissioner?
Actually, this is Mayor George Rivera from the City of Palm Valley.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was Commissioner Garza from
We have a quorum.
That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15 of the board, but not of the corporation at this time. I'm gonna see who's here though.
Can everyone hear me? Can I get a thumbs up if you can hear me? Thank you. Awesome, guys.
Okay, can you hear me, everybody? Raise your hand.
Got it.
Okay, raise your one thumb means good, okay. We're going to call the order the meeting of the LRGVDC Board of Directors for June 24th, 2020. You already did the roll call, Debbie? Or no?
Yes.
Oh,
Mayor Jim Darling,
here.
Judge Aurelio Guerra,
Yes.
Mayor Ambrosio Hernandez, Commissioner Victor Leal,
Present.
Commissioner Nerth Galinsky. Nerth, I see your name.
Sorry, I'm here. I just unmuted myself.
Mayor David
I'm
Suarez,
Here.
Commissioner David Garza,
Present, but I'm coming up as Raul Gomez. So I have to
Commissioner
borrow it.
David Fuentes,
David Garza there.
Commissioner Pilar Garza,
Can you hear you?
can you guys hear me?
They had said, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen some people there. You didn't say hi.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Councilman Johnny Garcia. I see his name. Commissioner Rick Salinas from Lifer.
Meeting with us.
Mayor Henry Hinojosa. He said he would call in. Are you on the line, Mayor? Mayor Pro Tem Nori Gonzalez Garza.
Present.
Fuentes.
I know, you can see.
Mayor George Rivera.
Right there, that's not-
Here.
Okay.
It's very light over here. I heard it here.
Mayor David Kush.
Present.
I heard that one.
Commissioner
Mute your
Edward,
phones.
Commissioner Edward Gonzalez.
Here.
Mayor Ben Gomez.
I'm present.
Commissioner Marky Villegas, San Juan.
Present.
San Juan.
Present.
And for Brownsville, I will count, I see Mayor Trey Mendez.
Here.
Okay, so that's good. Ms. Veronica Gonzalez,
I'm here.
Mr. Paul Hernandez, Mr. Javier De Leon,
Present.
Mr. Troy Allen. I see you, Troy.
Present. Present.
Ron Mills,
I see you.
Honorable Norma G. Garcia, Ms. Celeste Sanchez, Commissioner Jesse Zuniga,
Present.
Ms. Cristina Patino Pool.
Present.
Mr. President, we have a quorum of the Board of Directors, and the corporation is comprised of the Executive Committee, and we have 1, 2, 3 members. Is Judge Aurelio Guerra on the line? Or Mayor Ambrosio Hernandez? So we do not have a quorum of the corporation.
Okay.
Debbie, Judge Guerra was on the line.
Debbie, this is David Fuentes. I'm present.
I'm on the line.
Okay, thank you. Well, that means we do have a quorum of the corporation. Thank you very much, Judge.
Yeah, so any actions are required by both. We'll assume that the corporation is voting unless somebody actually says they're not from the corporation. Okay. We'll dispense with the pledge and the prayer except to say, God bless you and God bless America. So next item is a consideration and action to approve the minutes for May 27th, 2020.
Move to approve. This is Commissioner Garza.
I second, Commissioner
Second.
Gonzalez.
Okay. Motion is second. Any deletions or additions?
And who is the second?
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, raise your hand. And say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
This is Ben Gomez. I abstain due to, I was absent.
Okay. That was Ben, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Ben Gomez.
Any public comment? Noel?
No one has emailed me that they would like to request public comment.
Okay. Item 4, Mr. Cruz, administration, 4A.
Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Under item number 4, administrations, we have item number 8, or letter A, is consideration and action to approve the resolution 2020-04 honoring Ms. Luma G. Garcia. We did draft a resolution which was signed by Mayor Darling. Mayor, if you want to proceed to read.
Okay, I'll read it all except it recognizes that Norma has been on, was been on the board since 1987, 33 years. And she served under all 4 executive directors and she served us well. And so we commend her for over 3 decades of selfless, dedicated and unwavering leadership as a faithful officer of the LRGVDC Executive Committee. So can I have a motion approving that, please?
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay. I guess raise your hand if you're on TV, say aye if you're on the phone. Okay, that's good.
Aye.
B, consideration and corporate action to update the open checking account to show the new signatories, including Mr. Cruz and Finance Director Crystal Balboa.
And as a reminder, only the executive committee can act on this action item.
Okay. I have a motion for the executive committee to update the checking account to recognize the new appointment. Go move. The motion by Mayor Sines. Do I have a second? I'll second it as the chair. All those in favor on the executive committee, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye. Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, motion carried. The next one is consideration and action to appoint a board designee and alternate to the Texas Association of Regional Councils. That's really to replace Ron primarily.
Yes, to replace the previous alternate and alternates which were at the time. Commissioner Ricardo Guerra from City of San Benito and Mr. Ron Garza.
We have the alternate designated.
No, we need to vote on who wants to participate.
Okay, before we do that, one motion, who would like to be on TARC? By the way, they meet in, usually in Austin at the Hilton Airport Hotel, and they meet quarterly. Last meeting was canceled, obviously, maybe subject to the coronavirus situation. I got to tell you, if you're going to be involved in Council of Governments business, it's a great opportunity to learn an awful lot about what happens. They're very, very active in the state, state politics and state budgetary stuff for Council of Governments. And it's really worthwhile if you're interested in the Council of Government service. So having said that, do we have any nominations for the alternate and designee for TARC, Texas Association of Regional Council? You all don't have to go. Obviously, the alternate usually goes when the main person doesn't go, but they're certainly welcome to do that. Does TARC reimburse the cost? Or we do?
It would be, yes.
Yeah, your travel expenses are paid through the Council of Governments. Okay. Any nominees? Any volunteers? Otherwise, we're going to appoint somebody.
This is Javier De Leon. I was a TARC representative in the past. If no one is interested, I'll go ahead and do it. And if there's somebody else that out there that would like to serve.
Okay.
This is Commissioner Garza. I'd be willing to do it if I have a good alternate in case I can't make it.
I'm the third in line, Commissioner, so if Mayor Darling or you do not, or cannot attend, I'll take that place.
Okay. So we have 2 nominations, right?
Yes.
David Garza and Javier De Leon.
Right.
Well, I'll go ahead and step down since someone was requesting that they wanted. No one was putting their name out there, so I'll retract my name.
Well, can you be the alternate, Javier?
Absolutely, Commissioner.
Okay, we'll flip the alternate and the director, right?
David Garza will be me and Javier De Leon the alternate.
Yes.
Okay, that's a motion, I guess. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mayor Suarez. All those in favor, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, next item is D, consideration to explore creation of an emergency communications district designation for the LRGVDC encompassing both Hidalgo and Willacy counties. Mr. Cruz.
On this item, please excuse, I need to elaborate a little bit on this item. This is extremely important that we take action on this item. So as you are aware, the LRGVDC is currently administering the state 911 program for Hidalgo and Willacy County as directed by legislation that was enacted back in 1987. We believe that there is a possible opportunity for the participants in the LRGVDC program to have a real and larger impact on policy and fiscal matters that are now available through the state administered program. In 2015 legislative session, the Health and Safety Code was amended by Senate Bill 1108 and House Bill 3462 to permit Council of Governments regional planning commissions with a population under 1.5 million to establish a regional emergency communication district. We see a lot of potential advantages and opportunities that would be to our benefit if we create an ECD. If we are to create an ECD, the monies collected through the maximum 50-cent fee cap would be remitted in their entirety to the district. The major benefit from this, aside from all the funds collected in our region coming in to the region, to the district, is that a long-range strategic plan could be created outlining future capital improvements and replacements of our 911 dispatch centers based upon the reality that the funding stream is going to be available. Under the present situation, we have no certainty of the amount of funding that the region will receive through any given biennium. This results in a lot of inefficiencies because the long-term planning for capital equipment is difficult to do. Additionally, the state program places all RPCs or COG 911 programs under the same criteria, knowing very well that each COG is unique and that each has its own needs that vary from region to region. At this point, we have current RPCs or COGs under the state 911 program are 21. Current COG EDCs are 2. The 2 that I'm referring to, the capital area COG, as latest as 2011 became a district, and the most recent was North Central Texas COG became an ECD and this past year in 2019. One of the main stipulations that the new law requires is that the governing body of each entity, city or county, have now served by the Council of Government, passed a resolution calling for the creation of a district. On Thursday, June 18th, the 911 Emergency Communications Committee convened and voted unanimously to present the recommendation for seeking an emergency communication district designation before this board. And with this, I'd like to thank the chairman, Police Chief Robert Dominguez from the City of Mission. He is the current chair, for his keen leadership, and to further support this endeavors, he has presented a letter of support to you here today.
Okay, and this is to explore the creation or act on the actual resolution?
To explore and act, if we see fit that it's a best fit for the region.
We could do that today, to actually create it today if we wanted to?
Well, we have to go through the process, initiate the creation of the communication district, which will require each city and county government under Hidalgo and Willis County to pass a formal resolution before their.
Our vote would be to send that resolution out to the cities with a recommendation to approve the resolution for the actual creation of the district.
That's correct.
Does anybody have any objection?
So moved, Mayor.
Okay,
That was Nori Garza, City of Mission.
okay. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, any discussion?
Mayor Darling,
Yes.
before, this is Commissioner Garza in Cameron County. We have an ECD in Cameron County, and it's a great tool that helps implement funds and oversees infrastructure for us. It supports all of our public entities that receive 911 calls and dispatch responder calls. So it's a great organization that has access to dollars that most of us at the local, either county or city level, don't have. So it's a great tool, and I think it's a great step in the right direction for Hidalgo and Willacy.
Yeah, I was wondering why we hadn't done this before, actually, in that operation. Okay, that's an endorsement then, Commissioners. Anybody else, comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion to create the district to notification by all the cities that they have to pass a resolution. Does it have to be unanimous or just majority of cities?
The majority.
Majority of cities. Okay, and hopefully you could take this message back to your cities to get them to act quickly and affirmatively. So any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next item, we go to item number 5, which is community and economic development. Is Blanca?
Hi,
Okay.
Mayor.
Raise your hand, Blanca, where I'm trying to look for you. Okay, there you go.
I'm right here.
There you go. Go
Hear me?
ahead, Blanca.
Yeah.
Item
Hi,
1.
everyone. Good afternoon. I do have 4 action items for your consideration. The first being approval for the Regional Water Resource Advisory Committee's Regional Priority List Resolution that's in your packet. These are projects that have been identified by different cities or counties or drainage districts across the RGV with the greatest mitigation impact. And that is just to support additional funding that's coming down as regional projects.
Okay. So we need to have 2 members appointed from the Council of Governments, is that right?
This first action item is a resolution that's for us, for the region, and then that's the second action item.
I'm sorry, we're in the original. Okay.
You went on to number 2.
This is David Fuentes. I make a motion to approve.
This is Commissioner Garza. I second it but I want to make sure that everybody understands that this is not a static document. This is a document that we call a living document where projects can be added on as cities, municipalities, counties, or drainage districts identify them. As long as they're in the hazard mitigation plan, they can just request that those items be added on to this particular list. Okay, so it's not like we're approving this list and that's it. A dynamic list.
And the fact that somebody's on there, it's just a chronological listing. It's not a priority listing at all. So once you get your project on it, now as an individual city or entity, you can prioritize your individual projects in there, but that's solely up to you, not up to the committee.
Right.
And this is kind of like Region M, where the water planning group, where water projects for cities, et cetera, are listed in part of the process for the Texas Water Development Board to seek approval. And there'll be a first step for that. So the recommendation is to approve the resolution on the project priority list, system of putting projects on. Do I have a motion? I have a motion. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor
Yeah,
say
I
aye.
have I have a question. So can you explain a little bit more what it means that there would not be a prioritization? For example, like let's say region said that that there's a priority for a region, but that is coming in after another region has put in their submission, which might not be as high of a priority. Is it going to automatically be that everything would be addressed in order of the submission, or is there an opportunity once a higher priority is identified for us to reorder things?
I think you can amend your individual listing. You could amend that to get it on there. Really, it's to be able to get on that so the Water Development Board or General Land Office has a listing of them of what your strategies are for flood abatement. And so I don't, as far as I know, you control your own priority list, the way you
But
put
it's
it on.
region wide, like let's say if there were two different regions, there's no who's making the assessment of like which of those regions takes priority, or is it just automatically based on who submitted first?
No, it's a Water Development Board.
Yeah.
So they would make that decision holistically then.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. That's all I was trying to clarify.
In order for the Water Development Board or GLO to consider your project, you got to have it on this list. And that's the main component of it.
Okay,
No-
thank you.
Okay. So we have any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. 5B. No, I'm sorry. So next item is consideration and action to appoint the committee members, right? Two
Yes.
members to
Yes.
Regional Water Resource Advisory Committee, RERAC.
Yes, we have two recommendations for Special Purpose District Drainage, Willacy County, Mr. Ron Mills from Port Mansfield Navigation District, and the second nomination is for the Institute of Higher Education, Martin Necht from South Texas College.
Yeah, and the RERAC board is based on different positions. It's not an at-large deal, so they have to be nominated from, in this case, education in the special district. So any other nominations? Hearing for those two specific positions, you cannot entertain a motion to approve the following nominees, Mr. Mills and Mr. Knecht.
This is David Fuentes. I make the motion.
And
second.
Commissioner Garza seconds it.
Okay, a motion and second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your hand.
Commissioner Garza.
Say aye. Opposed? Same sign. Motion carried.
Yeah.
Okay, item 3. Blanca, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Could you explain
The
item?
third action item is from the recommendation from the RORAC for LRGVDC to submit a solicitation as a political subdivision for TWDB Regional Flood Planning Group, the Region 15. And we would be serving as a designated planning group and provide free public space meeting for the group. And it's going to be a public space for them to use regularly.
Okay. You kind of provide the same services that we do for Region M, water
Correct.
planning. Okay, any questions or comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Commissioner Garza moves to approve.
David Fuentes, second.
Okay, motion and second. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And just one comment, Mayor Darling. This is Commissioner Garza. Cameron County also submitted an application, but we will withdraw that application. We did it just in case the COG didn't want to do it. So thank you, COG.
Okay. Thank you very much, Commissioner. So item 5A4. Blanca, you want to explain that one?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This is the last action item also from the RORAC, and it's also for the Regional Flood Planning Group. We have a recommendation for a nomination for the environmental interest. It's Dr. Andrew Ernest from RATES, the Research Applied Technology Education and Service. And there are 12 slots for nominations, and we have nominated Dr. Andrew Ernest for the environmental interest.
Okay. All right.
Make a motion to approve. This is David Fuentes.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion and second. Is there any discussion? This is another one to get this group up and running, and it'll be a kind of a similar to Region M, a clearinghouse and a organized process for the General Land Office and Texas Water Development Board to consider flood mitigation projects, etc. So any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to appoint Mr. Ernst as the environmental interest representative, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Any other items, Blanca?
Just a quick update on the census. We are having a call on Monday. You can find information in your packet, but also in our calendar of events at the LRGVDC website, and we'll provide some regional media updates for all of our stakeholders involved. And I know Debbie emailed the regional video where our elected officials participated. So if you should have that, or a staff from your entity should have it. If you don't, please feel free to email me and I can forward that to you so you can start advertising that if you want. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next item is Health and Human Services, Mr. Gonzalez. You have one action item, B1.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, board members. My action item is the consideration and action to authorize Manuel Cruz as the executive director to sign all documents related to the community development block grant funding. And the advisory council recommending approval.
Okay, you heard the recommendation, you have the motion.
I have motion, Bengo makes motions.
And second,
Commissioner Garza.
Mr. Garza, okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye or raise your hand or both.
Aye.
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 Mr. Gonzalez, you have any items on program status reports concerning COVID-19 funding or anything else?
Yes, well, we're just moving along with our home delivered meals, trying to see if we can improve and increase the number of meals provided, considering the amount of funding that we received. So we're working with Amigos del Valle and pushing them, see if they can move a little bit faster.
Yeah, one item I had a question on was the quality. Are we getting any feedback from the consumers on the quality of the meals we're serving? And if not, do that?
Yes, I'm sorry. I've instructed my staff to develop a consumer survey. So we're going to be conducting a quality assurance survey, for our home delivered meals.
Great. And you could share that with the board at the next meeting, hopefully?
Yes, sir, we will.
And that would include not only COG, but any other entity like Amigos del Valle or any other entity receiving funds from us?
Most of them are senior centers, and one of my reports in the special initiative funding, the Los Fresnos project was approved by the Health and Human Services, in which they're going to be buying the essential items such as water, other toiletries and groceries, and putting together care packages for the seniors. And so I'm going to be working with the rest of our senior center to see if they can replicate the same project.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments for Mr. Gonzalez? Hearing none, we'll move on to item C, public safety. Mr. Cruz.
And the public safety, item number 1 is to consideration and action to approve the migration of legacy network to AT&T EZNet. This is just like I've been providing updates in the past. This is a transition of to the new 911 system, going from a legacy network to a digital network. And so this is the implementation. CSAC, the State Emergency Communication, Commission on State Emergency Communication, will be the one that's going to pay for this implementation. But since we're going to submit paperwork from us to CSAC. We just want to make sure that the board is approved. And going back to July 2019, the letter of intent was signed between us and CSAC to enter into this project, which will going to be costing us $111,616.59.
Okay, and that'll be covered by CSAC under the EFR. Council of Government is the acronym center of the world. Okay. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve item 5C1 for the approved mitigation of legacy network to AT&T ISE net. So move. Okay, Mayor Suarez moved. I have a second.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. 5C.
5C2 is the consideration and action to approve Homeland Security Advisory Committee project recommendation to receive additional funds from FY 2018 Homeland Security Grant Division block funding. This is just a reallocation of the unspent funds of $14,548.09 to reallocate it back to the region. The HSAC has elected the city of Brownsville Police Department for these additional funds to buy equipment.
Okay. Here's the recommendation of the committee. Any discussion? Here none. I have a
Yes,
motion.
I have a question. Can you share a little bit more what these funds could be used for? Like, do they need to be used for policing, or could they be used towards something else?
Typically, the guidance, the federal guidance on the Homeland Security restricts the fundings to be used for a terrorism nexus only. And so this is
Sorry,
going
for what only? For what only?
terrorism nexus. Basically to enhance local capabilities to handle any potential terroristic threats.
And these will be used for shield. Okay. Any other question?
Yes, I have a question. I think I just heard you mention Brownsville Police Department. Is that just specifically for Brownsville or all the police departments in the valley?
This is specifically, again, these are reallocating funds that the in 2018 other cities that received funds were not able to utilize. So every year the state, before the fiscal year ends, they collect deactivate all the funds, and whatever's left they provide it to the Council of Governments for us to meet locally with our local committees and for them to determine where these funds are going to go. And so the HSAC, Homeland Security Advisory Committee, is recommending the city of Brownsville Police Department to receive the $14,548.09. And this is from a previously approved project because it's going to be has to be quickly. It has to be expended by the end of the year.
Every year we have applications that don't get funded, and so if you snooze, you lose. That money goes back in the pot, and it's considered for other ones that would rank but get funded because there wasn't enough funds.
And how did you all go about the determination of Brownsville?
Like I said, the Homeland Security Advisory Committee met, and so they reviewed the past approved projects that not only the HSAC approved, but this board approved back in 2018. And so the group consisting of 14 members from across the three-county area determined that the city of Brownsville Police Department would be best served to receive these funds at this point in time and to purchase the equipment that they requested.
Okay.
Any other questions or anything? Motion to approve then the recommendation.
Commissioner Garza moves to approve.
Mayor Mendez.
Okay, Mayor Mendez seconded. Okay, all those in favor say aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Thank you very much. Anything else to be discussed under public safety, Mr. Cruz? Okay, D, transportation. Mr. Logan is around here. Oh, hey, Tom. You have 2 minutes. You take D1, please.
Yes, consideration and action to approve procurement of revenue vehicles for Valley Metro Fleet. We're buying 11 heavy-duty buses for our regular routes here in Hidalgo and Cameron, and we're buying a small ADA minivan for our rural and demand response service.
Okay, and these are all being paid for with federal funds, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
I make a motion.
We got a motion, Mr. Gomez, second?
Mr. Gomez, motion. Ben Gomez, motion.
Yes, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Mayor Suarez. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 2.
Consideration and action to approve Valley Metro's Public Transit Agency Safety Plan. This is a new mandate from the federal government. The state of Texas did fund this plan. They hired a consultant to develop this plan for us. And we will be in time to meet the deadline if we approve today.
Okay. Who reviewed the plan, Tom?
It's the Alliance Transportation Planning Group developed it, and the state of Texas will approve it after we get the board approval.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
A motion and second. All those in favor, say aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Tom, any other report?
Just on ridership, year to date, we're at 13% under, and this was expected due to the COVID-19 precautionary measures that both citizens and our system are taking. We are seeing a small increase month to month, so I think things are going in the right direction.
I had a question, maybe Veronica could answer. You know, between STC and UTRGV, obviously ridership was significantly reduced. With UTRGV, what are the plans for the fall semester of opening it up at this point?
We'll have a mix of both online and face-to-face instruction. So I think you will see an increase on the ridership. It won't be probably what it was before the pandemic, because we will still have a lot of classes online. But we are already starting to open up. Some offices are opening up. Students are coming back for orientation by appointment. And in the fall, I think you'll see a much larger attendance.
And Tom, if that happens, do we have plans for like social distancing on the buses, and can we accommodate that if there's a great increase or a significant increase in passengers?
Yes, we are monitoring that on a daily basis.
Okay.
Mayor, Paul Hernandez from STC. We are planning more face-to-face courses in the fall. It's going to be a combination of hybrids. I would imagine the breakdown is going to look like 70% online. About 30% of those courses are going to be hybrid. We are currently open at all 5 campuses, and all our offices, all our staff are back, but all the students have to make an appointment, and that we take all those precautions, CDC precautions, to be sure that we're keeping the campus safe. We are looking at an increase. The past few weeks, we're seeing more students coming to campus, making those appointments, and we're expecting the fall to be having more students on campus.
Great. And maybe next meeting, Tom, you can give us a little more detail on the safety measures so we could see that as a board. Appreciate it.
Will do. Yes.
Any other comments or questions?
Mayor Darling, one question for Tom. This is Commissioner Garza. Are we requiring masks on everyone that rides the buses, Tom?
The last board approval, we were requested to mandate that, and yes, we have been doing that since the last board meeting.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, that's the report for the transportation. Any new or unfinished business, either the board or Mr. Cruz? Huh?
RGVMPO.
What?
RGVMPO.
RGVMPO, I'm sorry. What are they doing? Oh, there he is. I didn't see it down there.
Good afternoon, President, board members. We do have a board meeting this afternoon at 1:30. Very exciting time. We are adopting a 4-year transportation improvement program, which will map out the projects for the Rio Grande Valley regional area for the next 4 years to 2021 to 2024. So we're pretty excited about that moving forward. And we'll also be providing some updates on the Invest Transportation Bill. As some of you have received updates from me, Chairman DeFazio, they have been doing markups. We're excited about it, but pulling back on the reins a little bit as well, because it's well over $1 trillion, and there's of course been no funding identified to fund this bill. So it's exciting to see the print, but until we get the funds to back it up, we're just trying to be a little conservative. So we invite you to be able to attend via WebEx or in person this afternoon at 1:30 for the policy board meeting as we adopt this important 4-year plan. And with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions if there are any.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Any other questions? There you go. I couldn't see you. You're behind the water bottle. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Well, our next meeting is August 26th. I don't know if we'll still be like this, but this is a terrible way to meet. I really appreciate what you do. It's really hard to have substantive meetings. Everybody's not in the same room. But I appreciate your attendance and your consideration and your comments to the meeting. Anybody else?
And I will say, Mayor, that if we need to, we might have to have the executive committee meeting to address any actions that might come about between now and within August or July timeframe.
The open meeting that is suspended, and I would be suspended for the next couple of months. So we have the meetings, even the executive committee. Sure. So thank you all.
And I would just like, I'd just like to say that if it is considered that we start doing in-person meetings before the end of the year, that there's also the option for attendance to be counted for individuals to be online and to make those decisions on a case-by-case basis, since I know everyone is dealing with COVID and safety in different ways.
That's right. Good. Yeah, hopefully all can be, we go with the size of our board to really accomplish that. And even, I've been in a 40-person group where we met. That meeting wasn't very good either, to tell you the truth. Everybody spread out all over the place. So we'll continue to work through this. So I appreciate it. And everybody stay safe out there. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.
Huh?
It's 12:43. Did you get that letter?